Welcome everybody to the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational Draft Show. My name's Ezra Dantowitz. I'm based in Arlington, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. You may have seen me, I played on Duo Barrel Roll with my brother Ben. We've got tons of clips up on Instagram and some full game videos on YouTube. In addition to that, I won a national title in the Premier Division with Cole Modell back in 2018 at Santa Monica.
And I'm Matt Burrows. I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm vice president of Y Spike Roundnet Club. I help out a lot with Taser, and I've been a Spikeball ambassador for a few years now. Ezra and I are going to be your hosts for tonight's draft, and I'm feeling amazing. Ezra, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's awesome to finally see some content for this tournament. It's been a lot of buzz, a lot of top names signing up, players from all around the country, and it's going to be real cool to see them mesh together, and we haven't seen this type of talent in the same place in almost 2 years now.
Yeah, I've been going around to a lot of tournaments myself, getting to play with a lot of the top Texas players that are going to be at this tournament. We're sort of struggling with the new rules. It's definitely been a learning curve. How have you guys been adjusting over in Washington, D.C. area?
Yeah, we just started playing pickup more like 2 weeks ago now. So with 2 plays under our belt, we're starting to figure out the no-hit zone, seeing where you can set it, how to approach the net. It's definitely been a steep learning curve, and it's exposed our hitting ability just a little bit. But the serving line being backed up, I think, has been nice. Don't have to worry as much about the lean. And for myself, who is never a big server, it has definitely not hurt me. Even with the flangos, it helps a little bit because I can lean in more now. I don't know how serving's been down for y'all in Texas.
Yeah, we've noticed some bigger cuts, but we've also noticed some bigger lips. A lot of people are opting to do gentleman serves on their second serve, and it's really just not making for very exciting round net. So we're actually looking at a couple of ways to fix this problem. We're actually going to do a test tournament here pretty soon where we're going to take lips out of the game. We're going to make them legal, and we're going to change the height rule to your shoulder. How do you think that's going to work out for us?
I'm trying to think how that would work for me now. I think that's a good rule. I mean, other than serving to Rahul, I feel like that would work. It's definitely nice to not have to worry about everything being bad, which sounds like might be happening sometimes in those Texas games. So if y'all can figure out how to get rid of lips, it could be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that tournament. And also future tournaments, if the rules are implemented, excited for some amazing round net. Really just excited for all future tournaments in general, 2021 S-Ray season included.
Yeah, so let's actually pick it back up and talk about this tournament that we're here for tonight. So we're going to pick teams for the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational in Newark, Delaware. It's happening on May 29th, which is Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome tournament. We have 20 captains that were selected by you guys at home, and each one will be making a team of 3. So it'll be a 3v3 tournament. That's single elimination. There will be 5 pools of 4, but only the top 16 teams will make it into the bracket to duke it out for that first place spot.
Awesome. Before we get the draft started, let's kick it over to Ben to go over the rules for this tournament.
Thanks, guys. Let's dig into the rules for the RPC 3v3 Invitational. First up, of course, there's going to be 3 players on each team. And for the start of each point, they'll be in set positions on their half of the court. The server is going to be 7 feet away in the middle of their half, and they'll be able to toss the ball inside the line if they want to. And for the receiving team, they're going to be able to have any of the 3 players field the serve. On each possession, teams will have 3 touches, as well as the option of either a single bounce or 1 soft touch per possession. When hitting, the hitter must have 1 foot on their half of the court, and the hit must land on the opponent's half of the court. And lastly, when the non-serving team wins the point or holds, they're going to rotate their starting positions so that the new server is still in the middle of the net on their side. It's going to be exciting to see how this rule set plays out with this star-studded field of players. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ben, for a summary of the rules. Before we get into our draft, we have a couple of sponsors that we want to introduce to you guys. First off, we have Roundnet Players Club. Then we have East Roundnet Events, the Players Roundnet Association, and How to Roundnet. So big shout out to these associations for sponsoring this tournament.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt, and thanks to all the sponsors. With that said, I think we're ready to get this draft started, so let's take a look at the first captain. The first pick in our draft belongs to Michael Sue of Denver, Colorado. Pretty exciting to see Michael picked as a captain, the 20th best player in the field. He really burst on the scene in 2020 after earning premier status in 2019. He's known for his electricity both on and off the field, making highlight plays and highlight videos that are fun to watch.
Michael has a really strong backhand serve that he can hopefully use to create some bad touches, and then his awesome defense can take over from there.
My first pick is none other than Dan Abrams. This man is a student of the game. He's known for his consistency and defense, which plays a huge factor in 3v3. If you thought your hit was insane, think again, because Dan will always be there to get the touch. His reflexes are inhuman both physically and mentally. His mind is always working overtime, and he is the cornerstone of our defense.
And our next captain coming out of College Station, Texas, we have Frederick the Machine Hinkle. Frederick has some big hustle and some even bigger swings, and his baseball background allows him to get that arm moving really fast as well as get a lot of cut from that good wrist inflection. He's definitely going to be the server to beat at this tournament.
If I had to give one word to describe Frederick, it's intense. He brings intensity to every aspect of his game, so it's going to be fun to watch him playing defense at the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational in Newark, Delaware. With his first pick, Frederick selected Brandon Spector out of Brockville, New York. Brandon's one of the best all-around athletes to ever play Roundnet, and honestly it's a little surprising to see him drafted this low, or even not selected as a captain. Brandon's quick defensive instincts means that almost every ball is returnable with him on your team. It'll be exciting to watch him and Frederick team up and play hard defense throughout the tournament.
Brandon's tricky serves along with his signature flick should allow him to cause some bad first touches and play some great defense. And our next captain, coming out of Richmond, Virginia, we have Will Picone. Will actually won the Nationals Youth Division at the SRA 2019 National Championship. He's got some crazy, sick, nasty serves as well as a lot of hustle.
With his team Volley Llamas, he's had a lot of success at the independent tournaments in 2020 and throughout to 2021. So really excited to see what he can do in this 3v3 format.
And with Will's first pick of the draft, he is selecting Garrett Hornock out of Dallas, Texas. Garrett has been climbing the Texas Top 100 and might possibly become #1 soon, as he has not missed a podium in Texas so far this quarter. And he might also have the best butter in all of the South.
The only thing smoother than his sets is his hair. He's let it grow throughout the pandemic and it is looking fresh.
It's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down.
We'd like to shout out our title sponsor, Roundnet Players Club. Roundnet Players Club is based in Chicago and they make high quality and comfortable Roundnet apparel for everybody. We've got shirts, beanies, and my personal favorite, some crewneck sweatshirts which are nice and soft and also keep you warm. You can check out all their gear at roundnetplayersclub.com. Be on the lookout for their Roundnet Everywhere collection and follow Roundnet Players Club on Instagram to stay up to date for their latest.
Our next captain is going to be Rahul Murthy out of College Station, Texas. Rahul is a part of the Texas A&M squad, and he has a nice reverse cut, mixes well with his normal cut, and he is just a serving threat, very consistent, and can swing very hard from his tennis background, and was looking to take a championship home before COVID ended College Nationals this year.
Yeah.
I picked Addison Powers as my first pick because I think he's super consistent, and from playing against him and watching him, he's like a one-man army. I mean, he can go get the touch, set himself, and put the hit away, if that was allowed.
With the 5th pick in the draft, it's Ryder Riva out of Santa Barbara, California. Ryder burst onto the scene in 2020 with his reverse cuts and carried him and Preston through that tournament in Utah. Nobody really knew how to handle them, but he's more than just a server. He's got clean hits and quick hands that make him a threat on both offense and defense.
Ryder's definitely going to be one of the top competitors at the Roundnet Players Cup 3v3 Invitational. I'm looking forward to see him destroy the field.
For my first pick, I chose Noah Luskis. I love the energy that he brings to every game he plays, and as more of a quiet player myself, I think it'll contrast me well. Noah has had some impressive finishes the last couple tournaments he played in, including the one on ESPN. He played on ESPN, he beat Toast. Noah has a super consistent serve, which I think is going to be very important in the 3v3 tournament, being able to put the ball on and play defense and get breaks that way. You pair that with his off-the-net hitting and his ability to track down every ball, makes for a pretty good first pick.
Coming in with our 6th pick in the draft, we have Coleman Epperson out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Coleman was set to play as Toast in the 2020 season. Unfortunately, that did not get to happen, but ever since then, he's been traveling around and mashing up with a bunch of different players and getting on podiums pretty frequently. I think it's pretty safe to say that Coleman is going to be a top player coming into 2021, and we're excited to see what he can do with the 3v3 Invitational.
With his first pick in the draft, Coleman selected Zach Vance out of Newark, Delaware, bringing Global Beans back together. For all you Beanie Babies out there, it'll be fun to see these two paired up again. When they played in 2019, they had a few great results, but they were known mostly for Zach's loud yells after earning breakpoints. In addition to that, they both have great abilities to make defensive highlight plays, so it'll be fun to see them bring that in the 3v3 format.
Yeah, both Coleman and Zach have some great touch, some great ball control, so it's going to be awesome to see them on the 3v3 field.
Alright, so those are our first 6 picks. We have Michael Seuss starting off by taking Dan Abrams, Fred Hinkle took Brandon Spector, Will Picone took Garrett Hornock, Rahul Murthy took Addison Powers, Ryder picked up Noah Luskis, and Coleman took Zach Vance to round up those picks. Most excited for me to see Global Beans back together. Coleman and Zach haven't played a tournament since 2019, and they were fun to watch. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Will Picone and Garrett Hornock play on a team together. They're going to make a really great setting team with just the two of them alone, and I'm really excited to see who their third player is going to be.
The next pick in the draft is Cole Modell out of Summit, New Jersey. Cole's been on the scene since 2015 playing as Hilltop Spikes with his brother Max, and he's gotten the job done with both consistent and powerful serves as well as strong offensive hitting. It'll be fun to see him playing 3v3 and drafting this team.
Cole's consistent hitting as well as constant butter should be a great help to his team, and he's coming off a fresh win against Chiswick Walter.
With the 7th pick in the draft, somehow he's still available for me, so I will be selecting Patrick Drucker. Druck has those long arms. He's been around in the game for a while now, so he's going to get great touches. He's got a great feel for the ball, and he hits the ball really hard and far. So that's very valuable for a 3v3 tournament. So, Druck, I'm excited to have you on board. Let's go win this thing.
The 8th pick in the draft belongs to Jarrett Rouse out of Santa Barbara, California. Jarrett's a beast of a competitor and has the track record to prove it. He has 4 podium finishes at Nationals, and it's due to his quick defensive instincts paired with his smooth finishing around the net.
Jarrett's speed and agility should allow him to get a lot of good first touches for his team, especially in the 3v3 format.
Yeah, we're excited to see the team he puts together for the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational in Delaware.
What's up everyone, Jarrett here, super stoked. I was just able to draft Patrick Chu as the first addition to my team. Ooh, I am beyond excited. The guy's got some dirty serves, gonna create some bad first touches. It's gonna make our first possessions even stronger opportunities to convert. He's also got some very powerful hitting and great hitting technique. So I'm just beyond excited for his put away potential. Let's go, Patrick.
And our next captain is going to be Clark Marshall out of Denver, Colorado. Clark is best known for his long butter sets as well as his jaw-dropping tweeners.
Clark's 6'8" wingspan allows him to be almost always in the right place on defense. The only question mark for this man is, will he grow out his beard in time for the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational?
Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I covered up every part of my skin. Oh.
I was lucky enough to receive the 9th pick in the draft. For my first choice, I chose Juan Ruiz out of North Carolina. As soon as I started thinking about the draft, I was really high on Juan's game for 3v3. He's got great ball control, really smart hitter, uses both hands well, great setter, just very complete player. So I was super stoked to be able to get him at the 9th spot. And I'm excited to have him on my team.
Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie.
Hello everybody, we are the Players Roundnet Association, also known as PRA. We formed in August 2020 in Atlanta, Georgia, which has been on the up and up as a Roundnet hub. David and I host lots of tournaments, typically around the Southeast, to try to provide an enjoyable experience for Roundnet players. We're active on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. So please come check us out and give us a follow if you like what we're doing. And please come out to a tournament sometime. We would love to meet you.
With the 10th pick in our draft, it's Tyler Chiswick out of Long Island, New York. Tyler's known for his 3 national titles that he won as part of Chiswick Showalter, but for being a force on the scene long before that with the rookies. Tyler's great at every aspect of the game: serving, serve receive, setting, defense, hitting. There's really no weaknesses for him.
After being ranked number 2 under Preston, Tyler's going to be looking to prove himself and show everyone that he's still number 1.
With Tyler's first pick, he selected Ryan Gross out of Rochester, New York. Ryan burst on the scene in 2020 with his huge serves. He's got lefty and righty serves that hit with both cut and reverse cut. In addition to that, his long arms allow him to make some great finishes around the net that others might not be able to.
Our next captain is going to be Skylar Bowles out of Chico, California. Skylar is one of the OG ballers, and some say he's the best to ever play the sport. He played with Sean Boyer as a part of Chico Spikes and is a 2-time national champion.
Known for his quick defensive plays up close to the net, it'll be interesting to see how Skylar transitions his defense now for the 3v3 format with a lot more long balls to run down rather than close play right up at the net. With the 11th pick in the draft, Skylar selected Logan Cornelius of San Francisco, California. Formerly the loudmouth from down south, he's now the loud host from the West Coast. Logan started out by founding Texas A&M Roundnet, and now is the founder and one of the leaders of Taser Roundnet in Texas.
With Logan's solid serve receive and consistent fundamentals, he should be a good addition to Skylar's game. Our next captain out of Temple, Texas is Grant G-Wagon Laughlin. Grant has a huge righty cut as well as a reverse cut and also a new bowl serve. Grant's hitting is still strong even with the no-hit zone, so we're excited to see how he does in the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational.
Nice.
For my first pick, I chose Jordan Taylor. He's coming off a hot win over Toast a couple weeks ago, and if his consistency continues to improve, I think he'll be a great asset coming into this tournament.
Welcome back to our draft update. First, we have Cole Modell that selected Patrick Drucker. Then Jarrett Rouse scooped up Patrick Chu. Then we had Clark Marshall selecting Juan Ruiz. Tyler Chiswick then picked up Ryan Gross. Skylar Bowles was able to snag Logan Cornelius. And then Grant G-Wagon Laughlin picked up Jordan Taylor. Some interesting picks coming out here. One that sticks out to me is Skylar Bowles and Logan coming in as a really fundamental team. Who sticks out to you, Ezra?
I really love Clark's pick of Juan Ruiz. Juan is super athletic, flies around the net, and is always getting touches. I totally agree with Clark's assessment and think his game will translate really well into 3v3.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see these picks. I think they're going to make some awesome teams, but let's get right back into the draft.
For the 13th pick in the draft, we've got our next captain, Buddy Hammond, out of Huntington Beach, California. Buddy's another OG baller who played on one of the first top teams in Roundnet, Handsome Beavers, with his friend Bryce Clifford. Buddy's the all-time best to ever play on sand, but it's because of his super quick hands around the net. In addition to that, he's great at running down long balls, and it'll be fun to see how that skill transfers over.
Buddy's pure athleticism has allowed him to stay relevant throughout the years, and it even allowed him to knock out a top Utah team at Utah Nationals in 2020.
All right, round one of the draft going down, and I just scored David Gonzalez, and I'm freaking stoked. The dude is an OG, and I picked him because beyond being an OG, he's got all the fundamentals. He's got crazy hands, he's got great defensive movement, he's got a high IQ, and honestly, one of the cheekiest spike ball players that I've ever competed against. Always wanted to run a tournament with him, never gotten to do so just yet, so now we get to do it in 3-on-3, and I'm really excited. So a lot of good plays gonna be coming your way from David on this team, and I can't wait to see who I get next.
Next up is Andrew Card out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Andrew's one of the most underrated players in Roundnet. Whenever he's on the field, he seems to get the job done. For the last couple seasons, he's been playing as Trippy Lizard with his old friend Clark Marshall, and they had some great results, including tour stop wins and a few other podium finishes. It'll be interesting to see how he builds his team, given he's a great defensive player who always seems to be in the right spot.
With Clark and Andrew both building separate teams, I'm curious to see who's going to come out ahead if they meet up in the bracket.
We don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
For my first pick, I went Olivia Jenkins. Had to go Olivia for a couple main reasons. One, I felt like she was the best remaining player left on the board, so I had to take advantage of that opportunity. And two, Olivia is probably the player other than Clark and Coleman that I've played with and against the most out of anyone. So hopefully that helps us team chemistry wise. So number one pick for me had to be Olivia.
Our next captain out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, we have Joe Bondi. Joe has taken the world by storm with his crazy serving. Righty cuts, righty reverse cuts, drop serves, you name it. He's got really creative hit and solid fundamentals, and he is just on a storm right now. Taking a lot of first place finishes with Will Pacone of Volley Llamas, and even taking first at the Christmas Classic with Dan Abrams. Joe is looking to prove himself as the new youngster of Roundnet.
With his first pick, Joe selected Connor Hart out of Angier, North Carolina. Connor's been on the scene a while, formerly teaming up with Ben Buns as Sonic Boom, and he's even had a few reps to play with Joe Bondi down in that Virginia and North Carolina area. Connor's a great athlete around the net with strong serves that can do a lot of moving across the net, but he's also a threat to make diving highlight plays on defense.
I'm not sure if I'm more excited to see Connor play or see Connor's beard. East Roundnet Events is going to be hosting a summer series this year with 4 big tournaments and a new point system. The winner after all 4 tournaments, the person with the most points, gets a big prize. Also, be on the lookout for East Round Events 3v3 tournaments across the country with Utah Roundnet Association, Ohio with the Midwest Roundnet Association, and in Atlanta with the Players Roundnet Association. And also, give them a follow on YouTube and Instagram at East Roundnet Events.
With the 16th pick in the draft, it's the Neon Ninja himself, Gabe Finocchi, out of West Deptford, New Jersey. Gabe was relatively unknown until the 2020 season where he really took the field by storm. He's got huge serves and great athletic ability from his American Ninja Warrior gym background. He's always known for wearing bright colors, hence the nickname, and he's got some huge results last year, including a win over Anchored LI with Max Modell and second place at Utah Nationals playing with Ravi Kandula.
With Gabe's first pick in the draft, he has selected Connor Prelich out of Robbinsville, New Jersey. Connor is the other half of Gen Z Roundnet with Gabe Finocchi, and he has some really strong serves to prove it. He also just joined Do Roundnet, which is one new Roundnet club. He's going to be looking to get Premier in the 2021 season, and I think he'll be able to do it with his saucy hitting and his excessive hustle.
You're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. We can run from here and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me, 'cause I know I can make you better.
For the 17th pick, we've got Ryan Fitzgerald out of Long Island, New York. Ryan's another old school baller who goes all the way back to his days on the Rookies, playing with Tyler Chiswick and once placing 4th at Nationals. Ryan's a great defensive player who's able to track down long balls and is also known for his great sets when playing with Anchored LI.
Ryan's insane hustle and dives should allow his team to get a lot of great first touches and hopefully keep the ball alive.
Alright, so for my first selection, I chose Chandler Hertzler. He, I thought, was the best one left on the board for me, especially in the category of hitting and serving. Only one left I was the 17th pick that I felt was an arguable top 40, top 50 player. So I went with going with my best option, played 3v3 with Chandler before in Utah, and went great, so I'm excited.
And our next captain is going to be Max Modell out of Summit, New Jersey. As the big lefty on Hilltop Spikes, Max has been looking strong after coming back from his injury, taking a first place finish at a tournament in Connecticut.
We haven't really seen Max play against much top talent since he went down in 2018, so it'll be cool to see him playing against some of the top competitors from across the nation in this tournament.
For my first pick, I chose David Lewis. He was a steal amongst the rest of the field. It was a no-brainer. I watched this guy's tutorials. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He's got his fundamentals down. He can hit any type of serve. He's going to be an absolute beast on the field. And I think he's going to bring a lot of different dimensions to 3v3 that people aren't going to be ready for. Before I submitted my pick, I had to call a friend down in Texas, one of the top players, make sure everything was squared away. Once I got the go-ahead, it was a no-brainer.
And with the 19th pick, we have Caleb Heck out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Caleb took second at 2019 Pro Nationals, and he is swinging harder than ever. He's got some of the fastest serves in the game right now, and hopefully that will allow his team to take a lot of good breaks at the 3v3 Invitational.
We initially saw Caleb win Youth Nationals back in 2015, and it's been awesome to watch him grow up into the sport with a family of Roundnet players in his household. Caleb's blossomed from one of the best young players to now one of the best overall players in the world.
First overall pick, I went with Jason Ray or Rhea. I haven't watched him a ton, if I'm being completely honest, but I've heard good things about him. I heard he's pretty scrappy. I love scrappy players. I heard he's pretty good on defense, so I'm excited about that and what he can bring to the team. Yeah, I'm excited about my first pick.
Our last captain to draft is Preston Byes of Santa Barbara, California. He was voted the #1 player in the field above even Tyler Chiswick. It'll be fun to see him play against some former partners including Caleb Heck, Jarrett Rouse, and Ryder Riva, but even more so to see him face off against some of his fiercest competitors including Tyler Chiswick.
Preston likes to have fun on and off the court, as you can tell in his How to Roundnet videos, and he's sure to make some top plays at the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational.
The 20th pick in the draft is John Zook, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. You might not have seen John play because he doesn't travel much, but he's known in Lancaster for his strong serves and his quick hits on offense. To back that up, he's got some cheeky drops for finishes.
As one of the top players in Lancaster, John is going to be looking to prove himself in the national setting. One thing he doesn't need to prove, though, is how good his hair looks.
Okay, back with another draft recap. We had Buddy Hammond taking David Gonzalez, Andrew Card took Olivia Jenkins, Joe Bondi picked up Connor Hart, Gabe Finocchi took Connor Prelick, Fitzy took Chandler Hertzler, Max Modell picked up David Louie, Caleb Heck picked up Jason Rea, and Preston Byes picked up John Zook to round out our first round. To me, I think the pick that stands out the most is Gabe picking up his friend and partner Connor. I guess it's nice to have some familiarity, but with this many players coming together, you'd like to see some new mashups rather than playing with an old friend. I don't know, what about you, Matt?
Yeah, definitely think Connor might have been a little favorited there, maybe picked a little bit high, but I like the pick right afterwards. I think Fitzy was able to grab Chandler Hertzler because of this, and I think that's a really great pick for Ryan Fitzgerald because Chandler balances out the serve ball with Ryan's fundamentals. So I think they're going to be a really great team.
That's a good point. Let's get back to it and run through these second round picks.
With Skylar's second pick, he's going to be choosing Ben Buns out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Ben has been on the Roundnet scene for quite a while now, and you can see the experience he's gained through his setting, hitting, and solid serving. He really completes the OG trifecta here with Skylar and Logan on the same team, and it's going to be interesting to see how a team of 3 people with really solid fundamentals will do with this 3v3 Invitational.
For my second pick, I chose Brendan Ferreira. I think his quickness and defense overall is going to be able to generate a lot of touches for our team, and with added consistency from all 3 of our players, I think we can get a lot of defensive breaks.
Just completed the 3-man team, and I got Ryan Byler-Giron. He's the man for the job. I don't know if I just have a thing for dudes that are good with their feet, but I got David with the soccer background, and I got Ryan, who I'm pretty sure invented the foot block. He was one of the first that I saw do it, so I'm stoked for him to bring that skill onto our team. And he's got this energy and this fun vibe about him, and that's what I wanted. I want old school ballers that have all the fundamentals but are also super skilled and down to have a good time, and that's exactly what Ryan brings to this team. So our energy is going to be through the roof, and I think we're going to be a problem for a lot of teams.
My second pick of the draft, I'm going to take Allie Jenkins, and Olivia was a no-brainer for me for my first pick. This one was also no-brainer for 2 main reasons. One, just like Olivia, I thought Allie was one of the best players remaining on the board for my pick. And 2, I mean, it's twins. I get Olivia and I get Allie. Like I said, for Olivia's pick, I'm sure that's got to help us team chemistry-wise. I haven't had a chance to play with Allie as much as I've played with Olivia, but I'm sure they've got some kind of supernatural twin connection, and hopefully I can just be along for the ride. So, yeah.
With his second pick, Joe Bondi has selected Andrew Raber out of Richmond, Virginia. He brings this East Coast team together with Connor, Joe, and Andrew all having some familiarity with each other. Andrew's a great setter and is also known for making some good defensive plays around the net, but he's best known for this highlight play right here that made it onto ESPN. One of the longest ons we've ever seen on film to get a ball back to the net. Crazy how he gets that ball back. It'll be fun to see this team play together and see if their chemistry helps them succeed in the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational.
With the 26th pick of the draft, Gabe has selected Kevin McLean out of New Jersey. Kevin has a strong righty cut as well as some solid fundamentals as he's used to training with this New Jersey crew. He is one of the newest and up-and-comers in the area, and he's going to be looking to prove himself at this 3v3 Invitational.
For my second pick, I'm excited to choose Nate Hopkins, Messiah University alumni. I had a few people on the board that I was also thinking about picking, but Nate took it over the top, just knowing his athleticism. He's been playing a ton with Zach Vance and a bunch of big group in PA. So I'm excited to get some athleticism to mix in with me and Chandler on our team.
Hello everybody, we are the Players Roundnet Association, also known as PRA. We formed in August 2020 in Atlanta, Georgia, which has been on the up and up as a Roundnet hub. David and I host lots of tournaments, typically around the Southeast, to try to provide an enjoyable experience for Roundnet players. We're active on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, so please come check us out and give us a follow if you like what we're doing. And please come out to a tournament sometime. We would love to meet you.
For my second pick of the draft, I went with a familiar face and selected the Donald Fung out of Old Bridge, New Jersey. You know, my primary consideration going to this draft was I need someone who has complete mastery of the pull shot. It's not going to be me, it's not going to be David. It had to be someone straight out of Old Bridge, New Jersey. And Donald is that guy. He has complete mastery over the OB pull. On top of that, you know, we've mashed up a bunch. We always take out Cole and Ravi going to head-to-head. Our defense is on lock. It's going to be a good day.
With the 29th pick in the draft, Caleb Heck has selected Daniel Good out of Tennessee. Daniel has some pretty strong ambidextrous serving and should be able to create a lot of threat. He also has great hustle on defense and is able to run down a lot of balls, so hopefully we'll have a lot of great defense on this team.
With this pick, Caleb reunites Daniel with his partner Jason Reyes, so it'll be fun to see if these guys have chemistry that can bring them to the top of this tournament. Preston's second pick, he took Jimmy Mitchum of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Jimmy's the oldest competitor in the field, but he's also one of the biggest hustlers. And that's going to make him a great addition to Preston's team. With Jimmy being active and moving well around the net, he's likely to get a lot of rallies started for this team.
Jimmy just started Virginia Roundnet Association with Andrew Raber, and we're super excited to see how his organization grows in the years to come.
My second pick was Braden Latham. This guy is unknown to a lot of players, yet is still a huge force to be reckoned with. As one half of Rally Alpacas, Braden is a strong lefty who has a very solid game all around. He excels at reading hits and is able to set your strong hand, which will enable me and Dan to get the most effective hits on the net.
With Frederick's second pick, he's selecting Solomon Berry out of Provo, Utah. Solomon has a nice righty cut, as well as a lot of hustle and some solid hitting for him. He helps out with Utah Roundnet quite a bit, often doing previews of tournaments and helping with streams. He also works with Josh Kaplan to produce the Round the Realm podcast and is a big supporter of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
With Will's second pick and the 33rd overall pick in the draft, he selected Dimitri Ferrand out of Middletown, New Jersey. Dimitri's really only been playing East Coast tournaments, so if you haven't seen him, that's why. But he's getting the job done with both lefty and righty cut serves. Recently he took first at a Connecticut tournament with Max Modell of Hilltop Spikes, and he looked great doing it. This team with Will and Garrett and Dimitri should be fun to watch, as the three of them together have all the pieces of the puzzle. We're just going to have to see how it plays out for them with the Roundnet Players Club 3v3 Invitational.
As my second pick, I picked Isaac Freeman. To be honest, I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've found on YouTube from his one highlight video, I think he's on Tribe Roundnet, and I know that Tribe Roundnet has played with Hilltop, and if you played with Hilltop, you're probably insane. So.
Alright, so we had a lot of picks go through there. Let's go back and take a look at some notable picks that happened there. To start us off, we had Grant pick up Brendan Ferreira. We also had Buddy Hammond pick up Ryan Blair-Geron. We had Andrew Card pick up Allie Jenkins, the other Jenkins twin. Caleb Heck was able to pick up Daniel Good and complete the team of Daniel Good and Jason Ray. And then we also had Frederick Hinkle pick up Solomon Berry. So just a couple of notable picks. I'm personally excited for Andrew Card to play with the Jenkins twins together. I think they'll have great chemistry. They all live around the same area, so they might be able to get some 3v3 practice together before the tournament.
Yeah, I think another great pick is Dimitri Ferran this low. Not a lot of people have seen him, but he's a great player. He's got all the fundamentals. And Isaac Freeman, it's a late pick, but I think Isaac's great value here late in the second round.
It's really awesome to see some teams that have prior chemistry and some new mashup teams that we'll get to see play for the first time. But let's go ahead and finish off this draft.
For my second pick, I chose Joey Battle. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of watching him play, but with the last name Battle, I think he will fit right into our squad. Overall, I feel very confident in my team, and I think we'll be one of the top teams to look out for this tournament.
You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find valid in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
Coleman's second pick in the draft is going to be Dan Banowski out of Piles Grove, New Jersey. Dan has just recently made the switch from collegiate tennis over to Roundnet, so he has some great hitting form as well as great ball control. And he also loves to hustle and run down long hits, and then he gets to sprint back to the net and make some awesome plays. Dan goes to school near Lancaster, so he gets to practice with that crew, and then goes home to New Jersey to practice with the New Jersey crowd. So he's got both hands in the cookie jars.
With the 37th pick, I will be selecting Alex Stan. I've heard great things about Alex. I know he's a lefty. I've heard he's improved his game by miles in the last few months, so by the time the 20 rolls around, I know he'll be ready. And having that lefty on a team for a 3v3 tournament where you can only hit to one side is awesome, because you can have both players lined up with your dominant hand to hit that ball really far and hard. So I think I got a great pick.
What's up, everyone? Jarrett back. All right, update. Second pick of the draft just went down, and I'm super excited. I was able to draft Allie Kaufman-Rogers, the AKR, the OG Ogres Heroes national champ. She's got some amazing hands, y'all. Some buttery sets. The game IQ through the roof. Oh, this team is gonna be scary. Let's go.
Clark Marshall's second pick, he's selecting Kevin Demarest out of West Deptford, New Jersey. Kevin plays with the New Jersey crowd and has even podiumed a couple times with Gabe at some tournaments. He has some solid fundamentals and should round out this team pretty well, and he'll definitely be looking to get Premier in the 2021 season.
With the final pick in the draft, Tyler selected Daniel Bales to round out his team. Daniel's out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so he's got a good crew to practice with. With Tyler, Ryan, and now Daniel, this team is set to do some cool things. They've got all ranges of height and all ranges of serving ability, so it'll be fun to see if they can put the pieces together in Newark Delta. Okay, so that's the conclusion of our draft. It was great to see picks from all of our captains and even see some highlights from all 60 of our competitors. Let's take a minute and actually look at some of the teams and see which team stood out to you. Matt, why don't you lead us off and pick a team that you thought will do well?
Yeah, a team that I really liked coming out of the gate is Grant Laughlin's team. He was able to pick up Brendan Ferreira and Jordan Taylor, so this is a really solid team all around. A lot of hot servers, and I'm thinking that on the day of, someone's got to pop off.
Yeah, I think the only thing to look out for is we've also seen these guys be cold servers, especially Grant and Brendan. There's sometimes when in a tournament they just can't find the rhythm and can't seem to get anything on the net. But if they have all the pieces together, they'll definitely be a team that's up there to watch. For me, the team that I would think could win the tournament is Jarrett Rouse's team. He got Patrick Chu in the first round and Allie Kaufman-Rogers in the second round. Allie, with the third to last pick, is probably the steal of the draft. She's got 3 national titles, super consistent all around, knows how to play the game, super strong in most aspects of serve, receive, defending, hitting. I think this team can get it done with Patrick's strong serves, Jarrett's awesome defense.
Yeah, Allie was definitely a steal that late in the draft. I agree. Patrick and Jarrett also just really 2 athletic guys, so that'll be an amazing team as well. But another team to point out is Buddy Hammond's team. He was able to pick up David Gonzalez and Ryan Blairgeron. These 3 guys are people that have been on the Roundnet scene for a long time, and they all have great ball control. And Ryan and Buddy are going to be able to run down these deep balls, and David's just going to give him the butter right back to the net. So I think it's going to be a really solid team.
Yeah, David's got great touch that really transfers to any aspect of the game, and with Buddy's athleticism, it's hard to count them out. For me, the last team that will definitely do well is Max Modell's team. He got David Louis and then Donald Fung. If you haven't heard of Donald, it's probably because you haven't played enough East Coast tournaments, but he's super quick, great at running down the long ball, and he's been in the game for a while. With Max leading this team, it's hard to pick against them. He's a great natural leader and is always helping his team to get in the right spots on defense.
Yeah, definitely. David did struggle a little bit toward the end of some Taser majors last year, running out of stamina there. But I think as long as Donald and Max are, doing the cardio for him, I think this team will work out just fine.
Yeah. Were there any teams you thought might not make it to the end, who you thought could be on the weaker side of a field?
One team that stuck out to me was Joe Bondi's team. He was able to pick up Connor Hart and Andrew Raber. A little bit of inexperience on this team. Andrew and Joe haven't been on the scene for very long. Connor has been around for a while now. But none of them have really gone super deep in these big national tournaments, big SRA tournaments. So I'm just worried about the lack of experience on this team.
I think that's a pretty good point about not having the real depth at the national scale tournament. A lot of these teams have at least 1 or 2 players even who have podiumed at SRA tour events in the past. And without that, it's going to be hard to compete. For me, a team that I think stands out for a similar reason is Michael Sue's team with Dan Abrams and Braden Latham. They've got a lot of pieces there with Dan's great defense, Braden's lefty serving, but if they can't mesh well, they're not going to have great results. I'm a little worried because they don't have any huge hitters that are able to just put the ball away real simply, which is nice to have, especially as a reset in 3v3 format.
Yeah, this team's going to be really defensive, but I think offense is going to overpower them. But now that we've taken a look at our top teams and our bottom teams, let's hear from the captains and see what they have to say.
So overall, I think our team's going to do pretty dang good. No matter who's at the net, I think they're going to get good touches and filter it to the people next to them. I think the person in the back is going to be roving around like a crazy man, and we have a good speed on our team as well. And our hands and our IQ as a team, I think, is going to be really awesome. But I think the thing that's really going to help us thrive is just the fact that we all have so much fun playing the game. So our energy is going to be high, and we're going to be wanting to keep these rallies alive and putting our bodies on the line to do it. So I'm stoked, hoping to win this thing. Let's go.
After my team is set now, I'm super excited and confident about my team. I think we're going to do great. I think we could totally get a win. From what I've heard about Alex and I know Drucker, they were both steals in the draft order. So we got 2 righties and a lefty, which is great for us. Everyone's going to go hard, give it their all. Everyone's going to get great touches. So, yeah, looking forward to it. And let's go, team.
I really couldn't be more excited to have Donald and David on my team. I ran a tournament with Gabe over the summer. I ran a couple with Cole over the summer. And I think it's safe to say that this is the first time that I'll have players on my team with exceptionally high Roundnet IQ. And I think it's going to work wonders for us. On top of that, we have Roundnet skills distributed across every aspect of the game. We've got Donald running down the deep ball. On defense, David be getting his body touches. I'll be all over the place too. Clean sets across the board. We're going to be playing some blue ball, I admit it. David bringing every reverse, every cut. We got Donald's low jam, every type of serve coming your way. So I think we're going to be a serious contender.
At first glance, you probably immediately counted my team out of the running, considering my skill level compared to everyone else. If you look closer, however, my team excels at the Roundnet skills we need to win 3v3. I think my team is as solid as it can get, and I'm super excited to see how many upsets we make in the tournament.
Awesome to hear from some of our captains about how they think they'll fare. So just one more time, we'd like to give a shout out to our amazing sponsors, Roundnet Players Club, East Roundnet Events, How to Roundnet, and the Players Roundnet Association.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the draft today.
Be sure to watch the live stream on May 29th. We'll be streaming the semifinals and finals matchups. But don't worry if you miss it. We'll have plenty of content afterwards. Be sure to follow RPC 3v3 Invitational on Instagram for any and all updates. Thank you guys for watching.